All right, 25 now to 1 o'clock. It is the Nolan Show on 5 Live. How are you doing tonight? Now, the Rspca has been criticised over the method it used to put down 10 German Shepherd dogs whose owner had died. Instead of giving the dogs a painless injection, the charity staff used a captive bolt gun. It's the sort of equipment used in abattoirs. Some dog lovers say they are absolutely appalled, but the Rspca's Tim Wass says that using this particular method was the only option.
It is amongst the darkest and most damning and difficult of days when our officers, my inspectors, have to actually resort to using a captive bolt. The reality is, if you remove the emotion from it, it is far, far worse for the person doing it than it is for the animal that it's being done to.
Well, we asked the Rspca to come onto the show tonight. They won't do it. Someone who's very angry about this is Jane Shenstone. Jane's the founder of the German Shepherd Rescue Organisation. Jane.
Hello there.
Why are you so appalled?
Well, we're not just appalled about the method in which these dogs were dispatched, but we're appalled that they were not given a chance. We find it hard to believe that 10 German Shepherds, out of all 10, not one was rehomable. Not one was given a chance. But coming on to the captive bolt, as you stated before, the captive bolt is actually something that's used in a slaughterhouse. It is actually a stunning device, and it doesn't stop the heart. The other thing is there's an organisation called ICAN, which is the International Companion Animal Management Coalition, of which the Rspca is a high-profile member. Now, the other groups in there are the WSPA, and they have deemed the captive bolt to be an unacceptable method of euthanizing cats and dogs. And that's because there's a very high risk that you won't cause the dog or cat to become immediately unconscious, and that they can recover because of the shape of their skull.
Sorry, Jane, who has deemed it unacceptable?
This is the International Companion Animal Management Coalition, of which the Rspca are a member. WSPA, which
I don't understand now, because the Rspca and their chief of inspectorate, Tim Wass, is saying that this is the most suitable and humane method of putting them down. So how can they say that and then be the member of an organisation which says it is not humane?
Yes, that's exactly the questions we would have put to Tim tonight had he come on the programme.
Well, isn't it a pity also that we're talking here about animal welfare and
yes,
no one from the Rspca can make themselves available? No one.
Absolutely appalling. And, the reason this came to light was allegedly because one of their inspectors actually bragged about it. It was their favourite method.
Hold on a minute. I'm not getting into that type of speculation.
Okay.
Because I do not know that to be true. And indeed, I'm going to assume that is untrue.
Okay.
Unless I can have an Rspca person in front of me here admitting to that. And that's something we're certainly not going to speculate on. Now, the Rspca do say, Jane,
yes,
that these 10 German Shepherd dogs, where they tried to rehome them, they could not do so.
No, that's absolutely untrue. None of the German Shepherd rescues were contacted. Dogs Trust, we've confirmed with them that they were not contacted. There's a big rescue in South Wales. They were not contacted. We have yet to find any rescue that was contacted. But bear in mind, the Rspca said these dogs were too aggressive to be rehomed. So why would they have contacted other rescues if that was the case? It's a contradiction.
So what would you have expected the Rspca to do in this case?
Well, could they not just contact specialists like ourselves, people who know this breed? I mean, these dogs had been left in the house, we believe, for some time. Their owner had died. They must have been frightened, confused. German Shepherds are very protective of their home, so they may have appeared aggressive to anybody walking in, particularly people walking in with uniforms. We gather that the dogs were in separate rooms within the house and there were notes pinned to the doors. We assume that somebody had been able to get in there and feed the dogs and give them water. We would have suggested that the dogs, if they could be brought out on a grasper, which is what the Rspca said they used, then they could have been taken to a place of safety, put into a safe environment like kennels, where they could have been assessed individually.
Do you know what? I think I've made a mistake actually tonight, Jane. I want to hold my hands up here because I'm just reading through the notes and I thought I had read that the Rspca said they tried to rehome them, but I can't find that now. So,
no, they didn't.
Well, so that's clearly my mistake, for which I apologise.
Okay.
But What would you have done had you been contacted? Could you definitely have found a home for these dogs?
As I said, what would need to happen in that situation, the dogs would have needed to have gone to safe environment, kennels, where they could have been assessed by people who understand this breed. If they had any medical conditions, the Rspca said they had skin conditions. Skin conditions are treatable, so that could have been dealt with. We don't know what ages the dogs were. They couldn't have all been old. Surely there must have been some youngsters in there. But without getting them out and sort of getting them in as individuals, it would be impossible to assess them as a group.
We learn that they are in poor condition, and of course we don't know exactly what that means.
No, we have been unable to get answers on that as well. But as I said, we know they had a skin condition, but skin conditions are treatable. We've all seen cases in the newspapers where dogs have come in, they've had no fur on them, they've been in awful condition, emaciated, but these dogs have been helped and they recover. The Rspca is the richest animal charity in the UK, and I just find it appalling that they weren't prepared to spend a penny of their multi-million-pound fortune in helping these dogs. Even if they didn't want to help them themselves, they could have looked to other organisations, like my own organisation. There are other German Shepherd rescues, and I know that Many Tears would have helped as well. Many Tears are in South Wales.
Okay, Jane, thank you very much for joining me tonight. 18 minutes now to 1. It'll be Dot Bio. It's left of the programme tonight. Let's just go right around the country, taking your calls, all the different issues we've been discussing. Pauline calling us from Northern Ireland tonight. Pauline?
Yes, good morning, Stephen.
Morning, Jane.
Actually, what I'm ringing about is regarding those 10 dogs. I think that is a disgrace. And I was going, actually, we have willed all our place here for the animals to the Rspca, USPCA and others. But I'm afraid that now has really, I've changed my mind.
Well, the RSPCA, different, of course, from the USPCA. So this story is about the RSPCA. We asked them to come onto the show tonight, and 10 Alsatian dogs, they had to put them to sleep, and they killed them with a bolt gun.
No, I don't think that's right.
Of the type that's used in abattoir.
Why couldn't they have taken them to a vet and they could have put them to sleep?
Well, they said that was the most humane way possible.
It's not, really. I know it's not. And I just can't have that. I'm afraid that this is what they're now going to do next. I'm afraid, well, that's it. Because I'm not on for that. I think it's disgusting.
You're angry, Pauline?
I am, honestly, Stephen. I'm quite upset about it, to be truthful. I didn't think the RSPCA, was like that.
Well, the Chief of Inspector, Tim Was, says efforts... I was right, actually, the first time when I said that they did try to rehouse them. The RSPCA said efforts to rehouse the dogs failed.
Well, I'm quite sure there's shelters that take them, and there's no problem. They keep them here, and they're not put down. They're kept for so long, at least.
Not according
to
the
RSPCA, put them down humanely.
Okay, thank you, Pauline. On the postal strike, the Edinburgh, Adrian, hello.